Feeling excluded, feeling alone, feeling like happiness is far from my home, feeling worthless, feeling dumb, feeling nothing, feeling numb. Having no friends, no one to tell my worries, but the clouds and the sun, and the moon when they're not buried. Crying every night, hoping my tears will carry my sorrow away, but all it does is make me dread.
Ireland, the Emerald Island of green and murky lands, full of history and legends of war and thieving hands.
Away from foreign countries, their cultures strange and odd, hidden under their roofs of thatch, and in the way of God.
But later came the plunderers, the powerful English kings, seeking only domination, with them came evil things.
Hopeless idiots they called us, but then we took up arms. We battled for this Emerald Isle, we fought for our lives.
We conquered once again our land, the English they were vile, an independent emerald, an independent land.
Not the way I dreamed of it anyway. Gazing at a young couple picnicking on the banks of the River Seine, their eyes filled with joy and love. That's what I should be doing. That's what I thought I would be doing, not sitting here in the freezing studio on the top floor of the building, my back arched, my eyes fixed on him, daring not to move an inch. He's been working on it 2.5 years now. The public never see it. They only see the ones he exhibits. They only take in a day at most. Nobody gets to see this painting. He covers it over when spectators come to see his work. It's as though he wants to own it, as if he wants his picture all to himself.
We were asked to write a fairy tale, and I was hoping that mine wouldn't fail. About a boy not yet obliged to shave, I entitled it Aladdin. I came. About 3 months ago, not too far away, there lived a young boy called James in the small town of Bray. James was smart, James was clever, but did he obey orders? Never. One day, with intentions of reaching Dublin, James went there for a little while. Then, rather grave, James walked into a mysterious cave. In this cave, he saw next to nothing. He was being careful to mute his footing. All he could see was a small sort of chest. Was it a joke? Was it a jest? He curiously wandered over to find his form of four-leaf clover.
There are a number of words in the English language which cause a piece of my soul to wither and die whenever they're used. Immediately, your thoughts may turn to the word like, but not today. If you like to know what I mean, like's a story for like another day, like, okay? Nice. Oh yes, that's nice. What do you mean by nice? It's just nice. Are you saying that it's absolutely fantastic? Or is it barely adequate? Or totally useless? Or do you even know? Nice is a very nice word. If you mean to say something without meaning anything, it can be used without causing offence, but it doesn't exactly endear yourself to anyone. Nice. You're nice, I'm nice, she's nice, he's nice. Nice is a vague thing.
Imagine a world where greed and profit pervade society like a parasite that feeds off the poor and fills the bellies of the rich. Imagine a world where the top 1% own more than the bottom 95% combined. A world where success is not dictated by merit, but simply what class you're born into. A world where companies can profit from the debts of their employees. A world not controlled by democratically elected governments, but enslaved by corrupt banking institutions. A world where a man is arrested for robbing a bank, but when a bank robs money from millions of working people, it is accepted. What you've just imagined is the world.
This morning, I decided that instead of my usual walk to school, I would get the bus. I did it for 2 reasons. First, the bus was quicker, and I wanted to get in beforehand to do some study for my exams. And secondly, I thought it was going to be a lot less tiring to get the bus than walk. But of course, things didn't turn out that way. Now, as some of you may know, there are electronic boards at most bus stops which tell you when and how many buses will be arriving. However, it seems that Dublin is full of invisible or ghost buses, because most of the buses seem to disappear the moment they're supposed to be arriving. Now, that rule would normally be applied as there's always at least one or two buses that do arrive. And arrive they did, completely packed out. Maybe a leprechaun could have fit in, but I sure couldn't. So there was no way I could get onto those buses.
Mark! Mark! Will you come on, get up, or we're gonna miss the bus. Mark begrudgingly kicked the duvet from his dormant aching body. He had been awake. He simply did not wish to acknowledge the frantic nasal voice which began college life every day for him. He stumbled about his tiny bedroom, groggily searching for clothes that did not smell or look like they had been bought for him by his mother, which most of them had been. When dressed and looking somewhat presentable, Mark stepped out of his room into the dingy, barely adequate apartment, which he shared with his insufferable flatmate, Dominic. Mark took the box of cornflakes from the cupboard, which contained nothing else but half a bag of rice and a tin of Heinz baked beans. He poured what was left of the cereal into a plastic IKEA bowl and sat down at the wooden table he was taken from his mother's back garden. He was just pouring the milk, which was 4 days out of date and had taken a turn for the worse, when he looked up to see Dom's ugly, bewildered face. Mark! They sat at the back of the 15 bus into town. Dominic and the usual gang surrounded him. They were talking about TV or football or some stupid thing. And Mark was not feeling sociable. Rather, he felt like melting into a puddle on the floor of the bus and waiting for a businessman or a foreign national to come and stand on his face. He knew this feeling well. The craving began to seep through his bones, all the way to his fingers.
The Celtic tiger is dead and gone. It's with O'Leary in the grave. For years, the Irish had been secondary to other great nations. Before 1916, we were a British colony, an inferior race, the potato pickers. But our identity was strong. We knew we wanted our freedom, and we fought hard for this. After 1916, we began building society that we could be proud to call era. We struggled on and were independent. This was important. Then, in 1995, our economy changed. We went from being the poor Ireland overshadowed by Britain to being the ideal model nation. We were living in a golden age.
Irish occupation state. Please imagine you are a mouse or a rat, whatever your preference may be. You've spent the last 8 years living in a house on the side of a moderately busy road. One day, after a comfortable 8 years learning the basics of modern life, it is time for you to break away from the safety of that familiar country house and move out into a new independent life elsewhere. Shortly after reluctantly leaving home, you come to something loud, fast-paced, bizarre and totally unsettling. It's a motorway, and you must cross. This motorway is secondary school, and we are the terrified mice. Making a jump to the first lane is the hardest part. Having never seen more than one car at a time, the time spent crossing the first lane is filled with panic, anxiety, and nervousness. My first year was exactly like this. Nerves took over every morning before entering the hall, and forgetting to bring a book to class would drive me into an uncontrollable state of panic and humiliation.